Time is the most valuable asset in the world, but during a recession, time becomes a weapon that works either for you or against you. When the economy crashes, it feels like the end of the world. Millions lose their jobs. Businesses that stood for decades collapse overnight, and fear spreads like a virus. But while the masses are paralyzed by that fear, a select few are preparing. They understand a fundamental truth that most will never see until it's too late. Recessions don't destroy wealth. They transfer it. They move capital from the hands of the unprepared to the hands of the strategic. This is the ultimate wealth transfer. So how do you survive? And more importantly, how do you come out ahead like the Wolf of Wall Street? Welcome to Elite Finance. Today we decode the Billionaire Survival Guide. To survive the storm, you must first understand the weather. A recession isn't a mistake, it's a reset. It's the market's way of breathing out. It's a natural, inevitable part of the economic cycle. When the system becomes bloated with debt and speculation, a correction is the only way to clear the path. When inflation rises too high and central banks spike interest rates to curb it, the engine slows down. The cracks in the foundation begin to show for those who know where to look. History doesn't repeat, but it certainly rhymes. 1929, 2008, 2020. Each crisis felt like the end of the world, but each one was actually a gateway for the prepared. During a recession, money doesn't just disappear, it changes direction. It flows away from panic, away from speculation, and toward discipline. Today, we are going deep. We will cover survival strategies, wealth protection, and the specific investments that create fortunes while the rest of the world is losing everything. What really happens when the bubble pops? The first sign is the layoffs. Companies cut their biggest expense, their people, to preserve their margins and stay afloat. As the job market tightens, consumer confidence collapses. People stop spending on anything but the essentials, and the entire economy begins a downward spiral. But more than numbers, a recession is a psychological event. Fear begins to control the markets, and as we know, fear is a terrible financial advisor. This fear leads to irrational behavior. Panic selling at the bottom is the single biggest reason why average investors lose everything right when they should be buying. The reality is that markets are driven by two emotions, greed and fear. In a recession, fear wins, but for the elite, fear is just a signal that everything is on sale. Recessions hit differently depending on where you stand. It's not a fair fight. For those at the bottom, it's a battle for survival. For those at the top, it's a season of accumulation. For low-income earners, the rising cost of living is a trap. Paychecks that used to cover a month now barely cover 2 weeks. This is where the pain is felt most. The middle class feels the squeeze of mortgage debt and lifestyle inflation. They are often one paycheck away from a crisis, trying to maintain appearances as the ground shifts. But the wealthy? They don't wait for the recession to prepare. They build their cash reserves when times are good so they can deploy capital when everyone else is forced to sell. The biggest mistake people make? Emotional investing. They buy when everyone is greedy and sell when everyone is terrified. This is the exact opposite of how wealth is built. Others try to maintain a fake lifestyle through high interest debt. They think the recession will be short, but they end up drowning while their income stagnates. Discipline is the most valuable currency during economic chaos. If you can't control your emotions, you can't control your money, the market punishes the weak and rewards the patient. Survival strategy 1, build an unbreakable emergency fund. You need 6 to 12 months of living expenses in liquid cash. This is your shield against the storm. Strategy 2, aggressively cut useless expenses. In a recession, cash isn't just king, it's your oxygen. Every dollar saved today is a dollar that can be invested in undervalued assets tomorrow. Strategy 3, invest in high-income skills. Your job might be at risk, but your expertise is an asset nobody can take away. The more valuable you are, the safer your future remains. The wealthy buy fear. When everyone else is running away from the market, smart investors are quietly positioning themselves. They wait for the blood in the streets. They look for undervalued real estate, recession-resistant companies, and dividend-paying stocks. These are the engines that build generational wealth during the darkest times. Wealth isn't built in the boom, it's built in the bust by those with the patience to wait for the recovery. And make no mistake, the recovery always comes. Time is your ally. The wealthy think in decades, not days. They understand that a recession is just a temporary dip in a long-term upward trajectory. They stay the course while others jump ship. Recessions reveal financial truth, they expose bad habits, but for you, this is the greatest opportunity of your life. If you stay disciplined, you win. Stay prepared, stay consistent. When the world panics, the leaders build. Welcome to the elite. We'll see you at the top. Subscribe to Elite Finance for more masterclasses on building generational wealth. Your journey starts today. Thank you for watching. Wealth is more than numbers on a screen. It's a state of mind. To survive a recession, you must first survive the battle in your own mind. Master your fear, and you master the market. Your network is your net worth, especially when things get tough. Surround yourself with people who think in solutions, not problems. The elite stay together. The projects that change the world often start during economic downturns. When competition is weak, the visionaries build the future. Are you building, or are you hiding? This masterclass was just the beginning. The real work starts when you turn off this screen. Go out there and claim your future. I'll be waiting. Join our community of elite investors. Follow us for daily insights into the world of high-stakes finance. Stay elite. We are now entering the advanced section of the masterclass. The first step is mastering the mechanics of asset allocation. It's not about what you buy, but how you balance it. In a recession, your priority shifts from maximum growth to maximum resilience. You need a portfolio that can take a 40% hit and still keep you in the game. The traditional 60-40 model is a trap in a high inflation recession. When both stocks and bonds drop together, you have nowhere to hide. You need alternative thinking. Cash is a position. During a market crash, having 20 to 30% in liquid cash isn't lazy money. It's dry powder for the recovery of a lifetime. Chapter 9. Legal structures. The ultra-wealthy don't own assets in their own name. They use trusts, LLCs, and offshore structures to protect capital from creditors and chaos. If you own everything personally, you are a target. In a recession, litigation spikes. You must build a legal fortress around your wealth before the storm hits. Chapter 10. Where to hide. Look for industries with inelastic demand. Healthcare, utilities, and consumer staples. People still need medicine, power, and food, no matter the economy. Interestingly, ultra-luxury also remains resilient. The top 0.1% continue to spend, making high-end luxury brands a surprising hedge during downturns. Chapter 11. Real estate. The biggest fortunes are made when the for sale signs are everywhere, but you must wait for the blood to stop flowing. Patience is your greatest tool. In a recession, forget about appreciation, focus on cash flow. If the property pays for itself and leaves a margin, you can hold it until the market recovers. Chapter 12. The gold standard. When currencies are being devalued by inflation, physical assets like gold and silver act as a store of value. They are the ultimate insurance policy. Gold doesn't pay a dividend, but it also doesn't go to zero. In a crisis, people flee to what is real. Always keep 5 to 10% of your net worth in physical metal. Chapter 13, The New Frontier, Digital Assets. In a world of centralized failure, decentralized protocols offer a unique alternative. But beware, volatility is the price of entry. Most digital assets will go to zero in a recession. Only the truly decentralized and secure will survive the purge. Approach this sector with extreme caution and small positions. Chapter 14, Your Roadmap. Information without action is just entertainment. Here is exactly what you need to do in the next 30 days to prepare. Days 1 to 10. Audit everything. Every subscription, every recurring cost. Cut the fat aggressively. Build your dry powder. Days 11 to 20. Renegotiate your debt. Move from variable to fixed rates where possible. Protect yourself from the interest rate hikes that are coming. Days 21 to 30. Upskill. Become the most valuable person in your industry. In a recession, the generic are replaced, the specialists are rewarded. The economy is a machine. Once you understand how the gears turn, you can stop being a part of the machine and start owning it. Mastery is the only way out. The window of opportunity during a recession is small. The rewards, however, are life-changing. Go out there and claim the future you deserve. I'll see you at the top. Join the elite. Follow us for daily insights into the world of high-stakes finance. Stay prepared, stay consistent, stay elite. We are now continuing into the deepest level of the masterclass. Over the next few minutes, we will examine the specific tax strategies used by the 1%, the psychology of peak fear and how to trade it, and a detailed analysis of the 3 biggest wealth transfers in modern history. We will study the moves of the world's most successful hedge funds during the 2008 crash and how they positioned themselves to return 500% in the following decade. This is the information they don't want you to have. This is the roadmap to the top. Focus, learn, execute. The journey to the 1% starts now. We will break down the buy, borrow, die strategy, how the wealthy use debt as a tax-free tool for expansion. We will examine the mechanics of shorting the market, the high-risk, high-reward strategy used by the Wolf of Wall Street to profit when the world is panicking. The market is a mirror. It reflects your level of preparation and your level of fear. Choose to be prepared. Choose to be the leader that your family, your business, and your future self need. This is Elite Finance. The masterclass continues. We will look at the rise of private credit, the importance of physical security in a digital world, and how to build a legacy that outlasts any economic cycle. We will now look at the specific tax jurisdictions that offer the best protection for your assets and how to structure your global footprint to be as resilient as possible. We will examine the world of off-market deals, how the most lucrative opportunities never make it to the public, and how to gain access to the networks that control them. We will study the role of emotional intelligence in high-stakes negotiation and how to stay calm when everyone else is shouting. The world is changing, but the rules of wealth remain the same. Mastery, discipline, and the courage to act when others are afraid. Let's dive into the specifics of the next decade's biggest opportunities. Stay focused, stay elite. The best is yet to come. We will also discuss the importance of mental capital, how your physical health, your relationships, and your psychological resilience act as the ultimate foundation for your financial success. A recession tests every part of your life, not just your bank account. To survive, you must be strong in every dimension. Throughout this extended session, take notes, identify your gaps, and prepare to act. Resilience is not just about bouncing back, it's about growing through the pressure. The ultra-wealthy invest in their health and their minds as much as their portfolios. They know that without a clear mind, all the capital in the world is useless. We will examine the daily routines of top performance billionaires, their sleep protocols, and their decision-making frameworks. This is how you stay sharp when the world is in chaos. Preparation in the mind leads to success in the market. We return now to the commodities market. Beyond gold and silver, we will look at rare earth metals and energy assets that serve as the backbone of the next industrial revolution. These are the assets that don't just protect wealth, they generate it during the recovery phase. We will also discuss the concept of legacy capital, how to structure your wealth so it serves your family for multiple generations. This involves more than just money. It's about the values, the education, and the stewardship of your name. Recessions are the true test of a legacy. The names that survive the downturn are the names that lead the upturn. Learn how to identify the assets that will be valuable 50 years from now, not just 50 days from now. This is the long-term vision of the elite finance community. Stick to the principles, ignore the temporary volatility, and build something that lasts. As we conclude this extended masterclass, remember that the economy is a cycle of breath. The exhalation is the recession, clearing out the old to make room for the new. You are the new, you are the leader that will emerge from this reset with the knowledge, the capital, and the discipline to thrive. We have covered the macro cycles, the psychological pitfalls, the tactical asset classes, and the advanced strategies of the top 1%. Now, the execution is in your hands. Review your 30-day roadmap, start your audit, diversify your skills, and most importantly, stay elite. The future doesn't happen to the prepared create the future. Thank you for being a part of Elite Finance. I'll see you at the top of the next cycle. Stay disciplined, build wealth. Farewell for now.